natural.
Welcome, everybody, to Con Culture Podcast. That is right. We are a podcast. We still do podcast, and we have a special guest today. I know it's been a while since we podcast, especially if you're listening to the audio version. I haven't uploaded those in about 6 months, but we're not going to talk about that today because we're back. Con Culture Podcast, special guest. Go ahead.
It's right behind me, isn't it?
Crikey.
Shoot.
I won't do it. I won't do that. But yes,
Why
we
not?
have a special.
You're from Australia.
Guest. I'm not from, but I know a lot of people from. So
He identifies as Australian.
No, I'm very cool with the locals. I'm just hip, Trey. I'm just well traveled. That's all.
Did you ever go to Australia?
No, that's why he identifies.
I'm working on it. I get my passport this year. Con Culture is going international.
We're going down under.
Australia.
We're
So
going
have you
down
been?
under.
People
No.
from Australia.
No, I know. I have a lot of friends, Krista. I'm a very
Comedic timing. You had that. You had that right there. You nailed that. 10 out of 10.
Thank you. That is our guest today, ClockyChan. Please tell the people about you.
ClockyChan. That's me. So I go under the brand Clockwork Angel. That was my online name for a very long time. So I recently had a con where somebody said, "Are you Clockwork Angel from like early 2018s, where you were doing cringy fairy tale content?" Yeah, that was me. That's still me. So if you saw my old cringy TikToks, that's me. It's still Clockwork Angel, but I go under ClockyChan because it's a little easier to find on social media. But I'm a cosplayer. I've been doing cringy cosplay content for too long, and then I moved into streaming. So I stream on Twitch and YouTube. I'm partnered with YouTube, and right now I do a lot of cosplay content and cosplay work, and I'm now an award-winning cosplayer, and I make almost all of my cosplays. I've won Best Craftsmanship recently, which was very proud. It was like a 200-hour build for my Assassin's Creed costume with a functioning hidden blade.
And it looked sick.
And I I did crash out several times in the process of making that.
Did we
So if you're
interview her?
We did not. We weren't there. It was in
So if
Oklahoma.
you're ever thinking, I would love to make a functioning hidden blade, maybe don't.
Maybe don't.
Maybe don't.
Maybe don't.
Or do. I don't know. It's really your choice,
I did
but-
get to see it before she premiered it because we were chatting through video, and the moment she whipped that blade out, I did like lose it. I was like, "You made that? Holy!" And then she proceeded to tell me everything that went wrong with it, and I was like, "Yep, that's why I won't make one."
Yeah. No. I was so close to almost buying somebody's like pre-made one, and I was like, no.
I got to
No.
see this through.
Be dedicated. You're
And
so
how did it go?
close.
How did the contest go?
It was good. I was a nervous wreck, but I won Best Craftsmanship, and they gave me that award because they said that every detail, and I have been known over time to, I love cosplaying, and cosplay is valid for every person, every type of cosplay, whether you buy cosplays, thrift and upcycle cosplays, just repurpose cosplays, buy from other cosplayers, make sure you credit them, and whatever, valid for everybody. I, over time, have always done a lot of thrifting of cosplays, especially when I do Borderlands stuff. I'll buy something and then paint it, but other times I will make it, and I wasn't super skilled for a while. I was going through the basics, and I was known to cut a few corners. Not in a bad way, but like, oh no, the seam didn't work in the end, so I just would glue it down. But for once, I like focused on this and had like the most flawless seams. There wasn't a thread to be seen. Everything matched up. It was redone several times, and the judges like pointed that out. They're like, everything was detailed. You had hidden details. You had small hidden vinyl details that no one would notice unless you were up close. You hand painted everything, hand stenciled everything. Like, I put in the work on that costume. Versus like, I will do thrifting, upcycling, and that's valid. Recently, I just bought a costume that I'm going to wear to San Diego. I'm super excited to wear a costume that I'm buying. That's okay. It's great. Have fun. It's about play. People forget the play in cosplay. I like to be super silly in costume. I will just dance around and jump around, and like, I will get into character. I'll stay in character. I talk to people in character because it's the fun part. It's not like if I'm getting ready for a competition, I'm usually like nervous and like blacking out from like anxiety. That's not normal time. If I'm not having an anxiety attack, play, dance. You're supposed to be having fun. Don't you like the character you're cosplaying?
Yeah.
Woo!
That is great. That is definitely the best description I've heard. And yes, cosplay is for everyone. All skill types, all abilities, all accessibilities, because sometimes you don't have the ability to buy all the resources, tools that it takes to build an awesome cosplay like the one you did.
There's a local cosplayer here. I don't remember the name, but I judged a competition that they were in, and then I was in the same competition they were in. They're in a wheelchair, and they always do the coolest freaking things to their wheelchair for the costume. Like they added like LEDs to it, or they'll like hand paint each bar and they'll put vines going up the wheelchair. Jesus. And it's like part of their costume. I'm like, for everyone, you can find any way to enjoy it, but I'm always like sitting there like, oh my god,
just
the
blown
details away. And there was a couple people with like not crutches, but the God, what are the names of the like little
ones attached to your arm?
Yeah, the people who have like pots and things like that. Yeah. They also decorated those and made them part of their costumes, and it's just so cool. Like you can include any item that you need to live.
We just posted a video.
It's about fun.
The man in the yellow hat had those. That's how he was getting around. He needed some assistance to walk around. His man in the yellow hat cosplay was amazing, and he was having such a fun time.
It doesn't take away from anything at all.
Not at all. No.
Like some people are like, well, it won't be the same. It doesn't take away from it. You still look amazing. It's still fun.
Your art is
Are you
still
smiling?
on display.
Are you having fun? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Go, bestie.
So tell us, I want to ask, what is your cosplay origin? Because you are super supportive and you're super talented in your crafting and how you've leveled up your skill. And you said you've been making cringy cosplay content for a while. How did you get into cosplay? Tell us and the people your cosplay origin story.
The truth is, it was an accident. So I grew up, I was always a little bit of a nerd. I was a bit closeted nerd. My parents, when I was a baby, took me to the Star Wars premieres when they were out in theaters, Lord of the Rings when they were coming out like a child. Like my mom drilled Lord of the Rings into us like it's her favorite movie. Every time she does any Christmas, holiday, baking, we watch the extended editions back to back, plus all of the deleted scenes and how it's made. I know how this
the only way to
awful.
do it.
Only way to
poor
reach your
child.
children.
So I grew up watching all these movies, and I watched a lot of Marvel and DC growing up. Again, this was all a little bit before it was mainstream. Like, yes, Phase 1 was popular, but it wasn't like cool to love Marvel. But during that, while I loved video games, and my dad started me on Borderlands when I was 13, so if you're wondering how my personality is developed,
Borderlands
it explains so
me.
much.
There was so much of this going on, but I was actually a jock. So I grew up a major jock. I was an athlete through and through. I was doing multiple sports, multiple practices, clubs, soccer, club track, school track. I had a personal trainer for many years. I had a lot of money. I was doing additional intramural sports. It paid for my college, so I went to college for track and field. And so I liked stuff on the side, but it was still, again, not mainstream, so I got bullied by it a little bit. And so I just kind of was like, I play video games alone. And while I'd go to a track meet and then I'd go home and be like a Destiny 1 Sherpa for a raid and be playing for like 8 hours. And I'm like, nobody knows what's really going on in my college dorm room.
The secret double identity life.
I was always like, man, like, I love outfits. Outfits are cool. Like that. The way it really started was, I think, Harley Quinn from Arkham City and Ezio Auditore. I was like, whoa, cool outfits. I wish I could have those. So then I tried to make them. I was like, cool, maybe I'll wear that. That would be cool. I just want the outfit. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know anything about it, but I was like, I want the outfit. And so it was like Halloween-ish. I made the Harley Quinn one, and then my mom helped me make the Ezio one, and I wore it for Halloween. Many years later, still going through the jock phase, and then it was my senior year of college, where a lot of ex-boyfriend problems. I was like, I need something to do. So I started watching anime because my sister put me on stuff. She's like, I think you'd like this. And I was like, okay, sure. And I was like, I want this outfit. So then out of nowhere, I just go to the store and buy a bunch of EVA foam and made a helmet for Honey Lemon from Big Hero 6.
Yeah. I
To
love
this
that.
day, I've never been able to successfully make a helmet again, and that was like 9 years ago. I don't know why! The one time I made a helmet, it was fantastic.
Also,
Never been
to
able do
quickly
it again.
interject something, favorite Disney movie of all time.
Well, anyway, I made that, and I wore it for Halloween. So I was like, cool, outfits are cool, I love these. And then I graduated college, and I was bored, and my cousin was like, hey, do you want to go to a convention with me? And I was like, I don't know what that is. And he's
You
like,
said
it's
words.
a local one. So I grew up on the East Coast, and it was a Zenkai Con in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. So that's kind of the area I'm from-ish. He's like, let's go. And I was like, I don't know things. I've watched Fairy Tale. And he's like, okay, well, we're gonna like dress up and go to this convention. And I was like, people dress up? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Is like in public? Yeah. Okay. So I wore Lucy from Fairy Tale. And I started to meet people, and I was like, oh my god, people dress up! People make outfits that they think are cool. Whoa! These people are wearing outfits! And they're like having fun! I want to do that. So then I made an Instagram account and a TikTok, and here we are, 7 years later.
Hell yeah.
I literally just went, I don't think people dress up. And he said, yeah, they do. And I went, oh, okay, I do too.
Present, so do I.
That's the whole story. As I said, I'm a jock. I kind of like things. Oh, people wear it? Cool.
That's a great origin story. Awesome that you had that journey through. Trey, what is your question for Clocky?
So I think for most cosplayers, especially ones that have been doing it for a while, they have one cosplay that they're very well known for. What would you say is your most well-known cosplay among your community?
I feel like that changes so frequently. Like I said, for a long time, most people would only refer to me as like the fairy tale girl, because I would just do fairy tale costumes out of my closet and like take my dad's clothes and like safety pin them. So I'm like, I'm a boy now.
I'm a boy now.
Am I a real boy, Papa?
I would do like Grateful Buster, Rogue, Sting.
Yeah.
I tried to go through all the boys, Loxus. So it was Lucy for a very long time, and it got to the point where I was like tired of everyone thinking I was Lucy, so I stopped cosplaying Fairy Tale. I was like, stop asking! My Riddler is pretty popular.
I was a fan of
Because
Riddler.
it's just a design that I randomly came up with, so it just became known that that was mine, so I have stickers for it, where I'm going. Recently, it's becoming Supergirl, though. I do a lot of Supergirl, and Supergirl's getting very popular for me. And people just say, you're the Supergirl, and I'm like, I guess. Because I do it for a lot of volunteer events, so I work for Real Oki Superheroes and Superhero School for New World Comics, and Jedi OKC, which isn't Supergirl, but I do a lot of volunteer events, and Supergirl's always requested of me, so I do a lot of her.
That's
all the
awesome.
time.
Krista, what is your question that you have for Clocky?
So our whole thing here on this channel is cosplays for everyone. We try to encourage people to, step out of their comfort zone, put on the cosplay regardless of how, you don't think that you fit the character. Because a lot of people find confidence in cosplay. I know myself, I have found so much confidence cosplaying now. How would you say your self-image and your confidence has changed since you started cosplaying?
Drastically.
I did see a post on this. You're about to speak on it, but I did see your post that you had about the side profile, which was really powerful.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear the answer.
So I grew up not. Oh my gosh! Every time I want to say this story, I forget the word. Stereotypical. I don't have stereotypical standard beauty standards. The perfectly symmetrical face, the button nose, the big eyes.
Agree to disagree.
Especially, okay, I'm prettier now. When I was younger, it's questionable. I grew up with very, very light hair. Everyone thought I bleached it, but I really just had very, very blonde hair, and it shows that my eyebrows were like non-existent because they were so light. My eyelashes were non-existent because they were so light. I have a much larger nose than other people. It's crooked, it has a bump in it, and I just got bullied for my appearance most of my life. I didn't know how to do makeup or anything like that, so I just never ever thought I was pretty. I never thought I was good looking. I mostly was hit on specifically for my body shape. I was an athlete. I know what features I possess on my body, and I was always objectified in that sense, and not much of my face. So I just was like, I'm not pretty, it doesn't really matter. And through cosplay, I started, turning myself into other characters and actually gaining personality. I was a quiet girl. I never spoke up. If you would have asked me at a podcast like 12 years ago, I would have been dead silent the whole time. I would have no opinions. I would never bother to step up. Nothing. I just was like, nope, other people can choose for me. It doesn't matter. Make your opinions matter more than mine. And through practicing making stupid, cringy TikToks, self-expression, it just made me realize that you are allowed to have a personality. You're allowed to look at yourself. And the more, and while some of them aren't my favorite, over time, I went through different phases of like putting on certain performances for streams and cosplays. And I was like, maybe I don't like that. Maybe I do like that. And I got to the point where I realized that if I want other people to enjoy what I make, shouldn't I also be willing to enjoy it? If I can't look at myself and think that it's okay, then why should anyone else watch it? And so it took me a while to be like, I am prettier than I think I am. I am funny. I'll sit there and watch my own streams because I'm like, that was a good stream. I did a great job on that. But if you asked me like 9 years ago, I'd have been like, I will never watch my own streams because they're terrible and it's awkward. I'm like, then why would anyone else watch it? So through dressing up made me feel better to put myself on camera. Over time, I finally stopped wearing wigs for cameras and fake eyelashes and contacts all the time. I still do that for cosplay, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, I would never stream non-cosplay. I would never take pictures non-cosplay. Like there are no photos of me unless I was at a sport event. I never took selfies. I never took pictures. I was like, well, I'm not pretty. Nothing matters. And very recently, I cosplayed Rumi from K-pop Demon Hunters, who is not obsessed with that movie. That's crazy. And I did post a side profile picture, which was something I pretty much never do. I think there's like two photos in my whole Instagram or anything of like a side profile. I avoid it at all costs because I got bullied for my nose growing up so much that I never, ever, ever want to draw attention to my nose. I would pick cosplays that would hide it. I tried to learn makeup to hide my nose. I would always wear masks. I would try to have the characters that have hair with bangs over their nose or like band-aids over it. I'm like, just don't look at it because I'm ugly. The more I cosplayed, the more people I met, the more friends I made. It just changed everything. And I was like, maybe I'm not ugly and I don't have to be a supermodel on Vogue. I can be me and it's okay. Because I'm more than just the body that comes with it, but I have a face. And maybe it's not the same face as everyone else. Maybe it's not symmetrical. Maybe I talk to one side of my mouth because that's the way that it happens. My teeth maybe aren't fully centered or my eyes are different shapes. That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. It makes you you. It makes you unique.
Yeah. And
Sets
it's
you
gotten
apart.
to the point over time that I go to cons and yeah, you wear a ton of makeup and being friends with cosplayers is going, hi, we were so friends yesterday. And you're like, who are you?
Come here.
And they're like,
I
I
recognize
was
some people.
I was
Like
Jinx
being
yesterday. And you're like,
friends
oh,
with
shoot.
shapeshifters. Yeah.
But there are certain people that I work with that like run conventions and I'll come up and say hi to them and they always know it's me. And they're like, you had just very prominent features. And it's a compliment. They're complimenting you. They're like,
Yes.
I can recognize you because of the shape of your cheekbones and the way that your nose is. Like there was somebody I had never met before and it was right after COVID. And so I was wearing a mask and he couldn't recognize me because he's like, I've only seen your streams and I knew you by the prominent features of your nose, so you wearing a mask was hard for me to identify you. And I was like, oh, they make me.
Yeah.
So, like, because I spent years looking up plastic surgeons. I knew the cost of everything. I was like, I'm getting plastic surgery one day. I knew it. I wanted it. And to the point now, I'm like, no, that's how people know me. If I changed it, it would not be identifiable. I couldn't walk up to people and they'd be like, hey, Clocky. And I'm like, I wore Cal Kestis yesterday, and today I'm Darth Maul, and you're still saying hi? And I'm like, yeah, I know your nose and your cheekbones. It's like, oh.
I recognized you as Darth
crazy.
Maul, and I fanboyed immediately. And I forgot how to speak. Because you mentioned your handle to someone else, and I looked, saw you, and instantly knew. I was like, oh, you're just from TikTok. And you just like nodded politely, like, yeah. I was like, Clocky.
I'm just a little
Can I get your
guy.
picture?
Yeah, I was like, can I get a photo? Like, trying not to be weird, but at the same time, just not remembering how to talk. And you were the sweetest. You were the absolute sweetest, and took a picture with me and humored me and let me take some photos of you. And I got to do a really cool edit with your lightsaber. It was one of my first ever like Photoshop edits where I, got to play with Photoshop and really tried. I was like, no, she's gonna see this. Like, I gotta nail it, or she'll never talk to me again. And so
What?
it was. Yeah, you're nothing like that. You're nothing like that. And now you shared your story. We just did a podcast about what you just talked about in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
It was about cosplays for everyone, and we all kind of gave our origin stories and situations where we have felt very similar to you, where cosplay wasn't for us. We were too big, or we didn't fit the character size or type, or something was wrong about us. We weren't good enough to do the cosplay, and how we overcame that. So that is a very good story that you just told, and awesome and inspiring. And we like hearing those. Yeah, thank you for sharing, because we like the audience to hear those stories. So people who are in those situations where we all were, they now have people to look up to and like, okay,
and it inspires them to put it on the.
It 100% does. I think we all shared stories of who inspired us in Houston. We did praise our deity, our Lord and Savior, our god of cosplay, Night Mage, who
oh, such a sweetheart.
the nicest human we've ever met.
His booth was next to Susie's at SoonerCon, and so I was helping whenever he had to walk away. I would just take over and run part of his booth. He didn't ask me to, but I was like, I don't know what to do, and I was just like talking to people and selling his prints. I was like, yeah, he makes all this stuff. He's the oh my goodness.
And then he donates. He donates
angel.
the proceeds. I was like, but the cool thing that he told Trey and told us is cosplay is your fan art. That's what cosplay is. Your cosplay of that character is your fan art. And who's to say in the multiverse of these characters that in Earth 611 there isn't a version of Spider-Man that looks like you, or there isn't a version of Batman that looks like you.
That's
like, there's
beautiful
nobody
way
to
of
say
seeing
that. Changed it. It gave
Yeah.
me so much confidence. Like, this is a guy who's 6'2", like 200 plus pounds solid.
Dresses as Elvira.
And Chun-Li. Like,
Yeah.
he has all the confidence in the world.
I wasn't around on the team when they interviewed him, but I remember Gigi was like, and she always talked about him, and she told me the verbatim what he told her, and it's just I love that, because now that's spreading, because now I tell people that, and and it helps them, and so we're spreading the gospel of Night Mage.
Yes,
Crazy.
and it was. I remember she didn't want her. If I remember correctly, she was hesitant to do her Jean Grey because she's like, it's janky, it's like not complete. The headpiece doesn't look right, and there were pieces messed up. And he's like, for me, please, like, I would love to see your Jean. Gave her.
He was cosplaying Storm.
Yeah, he was gonna do Storm. He's like, I would love it if you were to do Jean opposite my Storm, and we could take photos. And he just made her feel amazing. She looked fantastic and gave her the confidence. And that's the kind of person Night Mage is. And that was already what we wanted to be as a podcast and as a channel and as individuals. So meeting him, having him as a guest at the time was Superhero Comic Con, I believe, or Celebrity Fan Fest. Yeah, it was awesome. And that just gave us the opportunity to invite guests who carry that torch and who pitch that message, which gets me smoothly into that transition that SpaceCon We are hosting the cosplay
I'm a big
contest.
emotional girl, so I'm already crying.
Oh,
Once you start crying, then I'm gonna start crying, and Juan's gonna start
no.
crying, and Chris is gonna start
I'm
crying.
such a
We're
crybaby.
adding another crier to the team.
Yeah, I'm a big
what are you
crier.
talking about, Krista? We don't have a crier on the team. There's nothing but hardcore,
I'll take care
super
of it.
gangsters.
No, we are all
No.
all card-carrying members of the Crybaby Club.
Yeah,
Cried
We're-
this weekend at SoonerCon.
We cried this
Twice.
weekend at Comic Palooza.
Twice.
we cried
One,
during the podcast.
My friend won Best in Show, and like
Hell
I
yeah.
watched them announce Masters, and I'm sitting there because I was doing handling, and I'm sitting there. I watched her, and I just watched her body defeat because she didn't win Best Masters, and she just collapsed in on herself, and I was like, no. And then they announced Best in Show, and it was her, and she just goes, oh, I mean, sobbing. Second, and she just went, whoop, and I pouring
Lost it.
pouring tears, and everyone's like, I was like, I'm not even involved. I don't know what's happening. And then the very next day, so I was doing Susie creates cosplays makeup for Nebula. I do a lot of makeup for
She's
my
amazing.
friends
She's
and help.
fantastic.
I love her so much.
She's she and Candace the cosplay have changed me as a cosplayer tremendously. So again, I grew up on the East Coast in Philadelphia, and the cosplay community there is great and nice people, and over time they've gotten better. But the difference between the East Coast cosplay community and the like Midwest is very different. And out here is so much more family, so much more, I don't want to say accepting, but people are just friendly. And I found a family so quickly where like on the East Coast, I'd be like, hey, let's be friends. And they're like, yeah.
Sounds great.
And that was the end of that. And you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Now, Southern hospitality is a real
Yeah, it's
thing.
a culture
And
thing.
I made so many friends and family here, and Susie and Candace became such close friends of mine. We now do pretty much everything together. Group cosplays, we go to every big convention together, we do everything together, we spend hotel rooms together, and they changed me because they make gorgeous cosplays. And again, I used to cut corners, and because of them, I was like, I'm gonna start competing, and I'm gonna start focusing on things, and I'm gonna pay
Hell
attention
yeah.
because don't cut the corner. Sew that little panel that no one's gonna see. Sew that seam that what might not matter. Sew it, do it. You're gonna be happy with it. You're gonna be so much more proud of your work. And I was like, wow. So they changed everything. But anyway, that's
I
not quite-
fangirl so
No,
hard
that's-
over Susie Creates.
Oh my god, I know.
Like,
so I
she's
do
just
her makeup,
amazing. Every
and
single
I was sitting at her booth
cosplay.
doing it live at con. Because it takes hours and we weren't going to spend time in the room. So we're like, well, we'll do it in front of everybody so they can ask me questions about makeup.
Yeah.
And a friend of ours, little daughter, came up and was like, I want her to do my makeup for Raven tomorrow. And she was like, no, she doesn't have time to do your makeup. She's busy. She's got her own things going on. I was like, well, what does she need? They're like, Raven from Teen Titans. I was like, okay, it's not a hard makeup for me.
Yeah.
No, I was like, what time does she have to be ready? And they're like 9:30, 10 tomorrow. I was like, oh my god. Yeah, I can get her makeup done in like 20 minutes. It's gonna be so easy. She was so excited while I was doing her makeup. She kept asking to look in the mirror, and she was like, can I see? Can I see yet? Can I see? So I gave her a little mirror so she'd keep watching. She kept asking about every product I was using and like doing all of her shading on her eyeshadow. And then she goes up on stage, and they were like, well, what's your favorite parts of the cosplay? And she goes, my cape and my makeup. Tears. Immediate tears. And my friend in the audience was like, you were wearing makeup. And he's like fanning me, and I was like, oh god. Because I had a lot of eyeliner on because I was cosplaying Captain Amelia from Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
I had a lot of eyeliner on. He's like, no. And I was like, oh god. And they're like, did anyone help you get ready today? And he's like, yeah, my mom and my friend. And I was like, oh god, I got called a friend. And then she won, and I'm running up to hug her, and I'm like, this is my daughter. Not my daughter. I was just like
Yeah.
sobbing anyway.
Yes, you are now my baby. I
Yep.
will take you in as my
Yeah,
own.
yeah, no, I'll cry at anything. Big time crier.
I
I'll
love
cry at
that
every
you found a
movie. I'll
group.
cry at every conversation. You make me laugh too hard, I'll cry. I will immediately empath you. You
I
feel
feel
sad, I'm sad.
Well,
I feel
You're happy,
Yeah.
I'm happy. You
usually
cry, I
it's
cry.
Gigi that gets the crying going, so
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Can't relate. I'm not a crier, so.
yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's
right.
not a crier, and he has the funniest reactions when he sees kids in cosplay. He had one in Houston that had me losing it. This adorable little girl is in full Stormtrooper, and her dad made it for her, and she could barely walk. And then she trips, and she has her helmet up like this, and as soon as she trips, it just goes, and Juan just goes, "Oh, she did a little trip in the helmet fell down," in that same voice. And I was just like, I lost it.
Conventions. They're so cute.
It is
Interactions
adorable.
with kids at
my
conventions is my absolute favorite.
Oh.
Especially when
Trey-
it happened to be
Unless you're in a
Supergirl
cosplay
most
that's
of the
from
time.
unless you're in
Yeah.
a cosplay that's from like an 18+ show, I got
And you're like,
stopped
how do you
by
know
so
this
many
character?
children as Blitzo from Hell of a Boss, and
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
see,
you
we
should
don't-
not know this.
No, we don't need to talk about the Hell of a Boss husband problem with children.
Yeah.
That's a
And
whole
then-
other
and then
12-hour
with-
episode.
With Charlie and
live stream's gonna
Baggy,
get cut off.
friggin' me and Gigi got stopped a lot by kids as Charlie and Baggy in Dallas, and we're like, oh,
Yeah, no.
you're not supposed to know this.
Yeah, I mean, that happened to me because I do Charlie too, but I'm always like, oh no. When I'm Supergirl, I love it so much. It's so
Yeah.
fun, and you get, like, the kids are so excited, and they're like, can I have a hug? And you, like, pick them up, and you carry them around. Like, love it.
Trey
Maybe not so much
is-
as anything 18 plus, where there's like
Yeah,
a
for sure.
porn star is one of the main characters. Let's say, sorry, I didn't say. Who said that?
Who said that?
Oh, that Trey. Who said that? Love that
Just
trend,
because
but
it's
no.
a cartoon doesn't make it a kids show. There's still really inappropriate themes in it. Whoa.
Louder for the people in the back.
If you let
Who
your
said
kids
that?
watch Hazbin Hotel, I'm definitely parent shaming you. Who said that?
If you let
All
your
right,
children
I'm
go to a
not-
Hazbin Hotel panel and ask the lead actors a really inappropriate question. Yeah, I was
Who said
there
that?
at that GalaxyCon panel when that happened. When a
Jesus.
child went up to the microphone and asked something.
And Brandon was like,
and
"I'm not answering that."
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
it
feel
was,
like I have a leg to stand on.
It was
'cause I
the
took
voice
my-
actor for Angel Dust, and he was just like,
Oh yeah, they did the same thing at where were we? Dallas.
Like,
And
you're a kid.
Brandon Rogers was like, I'm not fucking answering your question. Whose fucking kid is this? You know,
Whose
like he was
fucking
just
kid?
like, who fucking let this kid in?
no, it's so weird. And the parents
Yeah.
are like laughing. And I'm like, okay, it's a great show that if you want to watch with your kids, because it does teach really cool
Yeah.
themes, it's a great way to introduce topics like that very smooth and organically. But you need to set rules with your kids about, like, hey, maybe we don't do this publicly. I'm allowing you to watch this because you can talk about it with me. It's got great themes that you can learn about. But maybe we don't go in and ask adult questions when you're 7.
Yeah, no. As a parent, there's a responsibility to, like you said, explain to them that in public we don't discuss these things. We don't ask adult questions. You explain that the topics you're consuming are adult in nature and answer any questions they have. Like, you still got to be a parent, dude. Like, you have to explain the context, explain why adults are laughing, why it's funny, as much as you can, because remember, it's a kid. So there are consequences. You can't tell parents what to do, but taking a little bit of responsibility goes a long way. And like you said, Clocky, a lot of these stories do have good themes in them that kids can benefit from. So I let my kids consume. I shielded them from very little, but I was always there to watch what they watched, to explain anything they had questions about, and add context that I knew their little brains didn't have at that age, so that they could get a complete picture on the stuff. Because we like violent video games, we like violent movies. I grew up watching movies that were way above our age range. Like the Ninja Turtles movie I saw at like age 6, the original one. I get all kinds of adult jokes I get now that I did not get when I watched it for
Even
the
like the
first
Shrek
time.
movies,
And
like
there's a
it
ton of
seems
movies.
like it's a cartoon,
yeah.
so it's a kids movie, right? But
Yes.
no, it's not, because it has adult themes, and taking the time to explain why that
Yes.
joke was funny is a great way to just be like,
Yes.
hey kids, when you're older, this might happen. So now it's an awkward conversation, and your kid's like, oh, Dad, no, please, I don't want to talk about this, versus like, hey, Dad, why did they say that in the
Yes.
movie? It's beautiful. It's a great way to bond with your kids, create a connection, and seamlessly transition. Like, I accidentally taught my cousin about female things in a very natural way, but it was by an accident because she saw my box of
Yeah.
female things at a track meet, and she goes, what are those for? And I looked at her mom, and I went, has she not? She was like, oh, I'll tell her about this. This is a great time to teach her about lady month problems. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh. It was a
Yeah.
seamless way of her learning things instead of being like, hey, once a month
Yes.
for the rest of your life. Like, that's
God.
a weird way to, like, there's always ways to
You're-
learn things and smoothen.
Yeah.
Look,
To
my dad
terrify
let
the
me watch all the Death Wish movies and then all the Rambo movies
Yeah,
when I was
that's what I
like
grew up watching.
under 10. And
Yeah.
I don't think that I came out too
Like Gears
bad.
of War and
I
Borderlands,
mean, I
so
get-
I'm
No.
fine.
I have a few
Oh.
like violent tendencies, but I'm just kidding.
As long as
Yeah.
as long as your parents are there to parent, I think you'll be fine. But don't let your kid be asking stupid questions to adults
Yeah.
at public cons.
No.
Come on, use a little exercise.
Draw
a
the
little
line.
judgment. Draw the line somewhere. But, speaking of cons, transitioning back to Space Con, we're talking about cosplay and inclusion, and cosplay is for everyone, and sharing our traumatic and inspiring stories. I'm super pumped that Clocky has officially been announced as a guest for SpaceCon, and we are excited to have her because her authenticity, her realness, and her compassion and caring for everyone that she's displayed. We're so excited to have her. We're going to have a lot of fun. We have other guests like Snarky J, who will also be there. Illuminati Kitten will also be guests. And we have fantastic judges. We look forward to announcing all of those future, and hopefully get them on as guests and get to interview them before SpaceCon. But be sure to get your tickets for SpaceCon. We will be there. We will have 50 feet of cosplay space. We're excited for all of it. We do this con every year, and it's always a blast. And we are so excited to bring you guys along for the ride. But Clocky is not only a guest at SpaceCon. ClockyChan is officially a part of Con Culture Podcast, a member of the team. We're going to have streams. We're going to have a lot of fun. We look forward to just going into gaming content a little more. We'll have live streams. We'll have playthroughs. We'll have reviews. You name it, we're going to try to be in that space as well, to do the same thing we do in cosplay, to support people, to inspire people to stream their streams, to get out there, put themselves out there as streamers, have fun, enjoy playing games with friends. Yeah, that's the episode, because Riverside is fighting us to the death to even keep this thing going. So thank you all so much for joining us. ClockyChan, where can they find you, along with finding you here on Con Culture?
YouTube is my main streaming platform. I'm partnered over there. I mostly post on Instagram and TikTok, kind of still a little bit.
We're seconds away. We were seconds away. We were seconds. We were literally seconds away from being
TikTok,
done.
Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. You'll find me. Look up ClockyChan. You'll find my name. All right.
All right, one more time now the tray's on. Where can we find you?
Everywhere. Just look up ClockyChan. I swear to God, you're going to find me on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
ClockyChan,
Threads.
Riverside, stop disconnecting us. That's it. I'm ending the stream before it disconnects us. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.